Hello everyone, my name is Lorena Patricia Bedoya. I want to explain you about my two lesson plan that I developed as a final activity of the subject teaching English to adolescents and adults. The lesson plan is really important um, for students and either for a teacher because a lesson plan is a schedule of activities that guides the teacher and serves as a tool to guide and focus his work of teaching students and getting them to achieve mastery of the expected learnings and competencies. And I am going to explain you the first lesson plan. This lesson plan is for adolescents for level A1. The learning strategy that I choose is a PPP, presentation, practice, and production. That lesson plan is about the to be bear. The objective for these activities is that the student identify members of the family, applying the correct uses of the verb to be in the affirmative sentences, given the vocabulary and grammatical structures that are relevant for each student. The word up is the student is sitting in 5 groups, and the teacher gives to each group different puzzles about members as family pictures, and any puzzle has some sentences. For example, my mother is in home, my father is tall, my family is big, my sister is funny, and something like that. Then the group had to assemble the shortest time possible. Each group shows your pictures and read the sentences. Any single puzzle has um, some sentences. And the students for group, one student for group must to read any sentence. And finally, the teacher asks them, who are they? And this activity, the time for this activity is around 25 minutes. The presentation. The teacher presents a video about the to be bear. I bring the link there. And after and the board, the teacher divide the board into parts. And the first part, the teacher with the imagine of the family member, like a tree. And when the teacher shows the pictures, any single picture for the members of the family, she asks who is he or who is she, and according to the family member picture. When the student answers the question that the teacher asked, the teacher sticks the pictures on the board and write down is the father or is the mother according to the family member that the teacher asked. That activity is going to take around 20 minutes. And the practice. And the practice, the student must to complete with the to be bear like a worksheet. For example, after they checking the tree, the family tree, they are going to fill in the blank with the correct to be bear according the family member. For example, in the first one says Maria space and my mother. They must to put in this space is. The other one is Paula and Lisa, my grandparents, my father, Chol, and the teacher passes for each group and observe what the students do in it, worksheet, and orients the process and correct the mistake. Production. The students write 10 sentences about families and uses adjectives which they learned in a previous lesson. This activity is going to take around 30 minutes. The materials that the teacher needs to use for this activity, for this lesson plan, is the board, puzzles, family pictures, worksheets, TV, and video. Assessments. The teacher shows on TV picture of family. The student listens to the audio about the pictures. If necessary, the teacher repeats again the audio because it's possible that some student don't understand really well the audio, and for that reason, the teacher is better that repeat the audio. Then give to each student one chip with some pictures about the audio and ask of false or true. They must answer the lessons in the minimum time. This is my lesson plan for adolescents. Now I'm going to show you my next lesson plan. This lesson plan is for adults. The learning strategies is the same one for the adolescents. Presentation, practice, and production. The topic that I choose for this lesson plan is demonstrative adjectives. The objective for this activity is to help students learn the correct adjective to demonstrate or point out which object, places, persons, or idea they refer to when speaking, reading, or listening. The warm up. The teacher asks students if they know about demonstrative adjective. Then, when the student answers that question, the teacher starts talking about different objects that are in the classroom. For example, she touches the board and says, "This is the board." And also, then they take two markers in her hand and says, "These are my markers." And then point to the ceiling and she says that is a lamp, and finally points out some plants that are outside the classroom, and the teacher says those are a beautiful plants. This activity take around 20 minutes. The presentation about the topic. The teacher presents a video on demonstrative adjectives. I bring the link for the video. After that, the teacher writes on the board the four demonstrative adjectives. These, that, those, and write one sentence for each adjective. The reason is for explain the grammar and let the student know where in the sentences they are located. And for example, we use these and these to talk about people, things that are near us. I like this ice cream. I want these shoes. We use that and those to talk about people, things that are not near us. For example, do you like that pictures on the wall? Who are those children outside? This activity takes around 20 minutes. The practice. The teacher uses the different objects found in the classroom, such as the wall clock, calendar, board, TV, etc., and ask each student about one of those things, and they should say what object is using these, that, or those according to their position relative to the object. This activity, the time for this activity is around 25 minutes. And the production. A student must fill in the blank with the corresponding demonstrative adjective according to the figures chosen in the worksheet. The teacher brings some worksheets to the students, and that worksheet has some objects, animals, and persons. And any student must do checking that pictures, and according to the picture answer that question or fill it in the blank with the correct adjective. These, that, or those according with the sentences in the pictures. This activity takes around 25 minutes. And the materials that we need to use for this lesson plan are video, TV, worksheets, board, pencils, and markers. The assignments. A student should write in their notebook 10 sentences about 10 objects found in the classroom. And with these assignments, the student practice writing and the grammar according to the sentences. And thank you, and bye bye.